Hi guys, I'm Scratch, and in today's video we are going to be talking about what makes a good looking build. Now I know this could be a divisive topic, and so I just want to say if you disagree with anything I say, then you are... No, I'm only joking. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder and all that, so if it's beautiful to you, then that's all that matters. These are just my thoughts on what makes a factory look good. The first point is the most obvious one. Keeping your factory clean and organized makes it look great. This is mainly because it makes things more readable and easier to understand. Not to say that you can't make something that's really cluttered and overwhelming look good, it's just much harder. As you can see here with my Mad Max style weapons factory, it's supposed to look chaotic and very busy, but I've still tried to keep it organised and readable. For example, I've put each different munition type into its own area, from rifle ammo to rebar and nobelisks. The easiest way to keep things clean is to have your belts at 90 degrees and make sure you're using foundations, but this can be very limiting and mean you can be hesitant to experiment. As I've said, it's more about keeping order than making every single belt super straight and having huge long lines of the same machine over and over. Try intermingling machines together, as I've done here with this production line, with the two refineries framing the two assemblers in the middle. It's still neat and tidy without being dull and repetitive. And I think something that's really key to making things look clean is to give things space to breathe. This is definitely something I'm trying to get better at, not just cramming as many things into a space as possible. Add corridors or open areas as I've done here. Here in my nuclear build, I decided to leave a lot of space in the main area to help show off the dome on the front and the curve of the roof. Consistency adds a sense of purpose to a build, and intentionality that communicates that this is how you planned it to look. I rarely have a picture in my head of how the final build would look, and I'm often making things up as I go along. But I keep a few things in mind to help create the illusion that I've planned it all out. And repeated motifs can really help with this. By a repeated motif, I mean any reoccurring design choice or detail in your build. So an example of this is in my nuclear build, where I've repeated this design along the edges of the conveyor and pipe buses and also used it on the edge of each level. This makes the build much more cohesive. Colour can also be used to create a feeling of consistency. I don't think I'm great with colour in my builds, so I use the old adage, keep it simple, stupid. I tend to pick two colours, one main colour and another to either accent or highlight something in the build. As you can see here with my Caterium factory. I've used a yellowy gold colour to highlight some of the edges to make them stand out. What materials you use can also help a build feel unified. Choosing not just what materials you use, but where you use them can be very important. Again, this will make it look like you had a plan and you're not just placing things down willy-nilly. Using different materials to mark out different areas can help define different spaces and break up a factory while keeping it all on theme. An obvious example of this is using tarmac foundations for roads and concrete foundations for paths. That's sidewalks if you're American. Details really help a build to stand out and shows that you've paid close attention to that build. It communicates that you've taken your time and thought through your design. They can also add visual interest to your build and help to mix things up to stop it getting stale or dull. The key thing with adding detail is to keep the viewer's eye moving. Always present them with something new to look at. Just make sure you don't overload things or make them too overwhelming, unless that's the style you're going for. Give each detail its space to stand out, or it could just get lost in the visual noise. I hope this has helped define what makes a good looking build and will help you guys when you're designing your next factory. And again, this is just my opinion, but if you think I've got it totally wrong, then make sure to let me know in the comments. If you want to know more about adding details to your build, make sure to check out this video, where I give you some tips on the best way to add detail to your factories. I've been Scratch, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video.